Okay, so I will start by presenting our company, our team members, which is composed by myself, Duja Belkhouja, Khadija Dargous, Mariam Kouba, and Osama Zawi. Then we will have the outline. We will start by a small introduction of the company, a literature review, some methods, and then an analysis of the company, and we will finalize by a conclusion. Starting with the introduction. So the company was launched by Sedat Ghanouchi in 2014. I will start by the story behind this whole idea. Sedat was stuck in his friend's house late at night and he couldn't find a way to get back home. So at that moment, the idea of e-taxi came out. And he wanted to launch his own company. He started by looking for some investors around and took some advice from his professors at MSB, since he was an L2 student at that time, and it was his main project during his license. Sedat also decided to start small in order to reach now around 650 cabs and 50 cabs. eTaxi was the first company in the market to create such an easy way to order a cab. The company also tried to adapt its services to nowadays situation through offering another kind of service, which is delivery. This point will be discussed later on with more details by my colleagues. I will give the floor to Khadija Dargous in order to present the literature review.
So let's move on with the literature review. Based on some articles we read, we discovered a controversial discussion between Clayton Christensen, the holy father of the word disruptive innovation, and Justin Fox. So in November 2015, a question stirred the web following an article published by Clayton Christensen, where he said that Uber was in fact not a disruptive innovation. And Justin Fox responded with another article explaining why he was not of that opinion. According to Fox, Uber disrupts the taxi industry, so Uber is disruptive. And he explains to Christensen that he does not have the monopoly on the concept of disruptive innovation, and then he proposes to broaden his definition. In fact, eTaxi is similar to Uber because the application, the website, does not offer a simple version of the taxi offer, right? And rid of unnecessary features, but on the contrary, it includes an improvement, which is much easier and faster ordering and improved quality. Also, taxi drivers have never focused on the quality of their rides and of their services because they know that they have the monopoly of the market. And therefore, with the eTaxi, we have the opportunity to have an excellent ride and an excellent service while not adding so much money. So that's why we came up in conclusion with another definition of disruption, which is that it's an opportunity, that an opportunity is a disruption for an existing player when it requires to take advantage of it, a different model from its current activity. Such for example, as eTaxi, and the business model being defined eventually as the value proposition and the profit model, as well as the resources, processes, and values necessary to implement them. So we can consider that eTaxi is in fact a disruptive innovation according to this definition. So now I will let Osama continue with the model, the method.
So the company mainly focuses with B2B clients. So they have some partnerships with local private firms in order to facilitate transport for their workers. So eTaxi also works with B2C, and their main competitive advantage is that they can pick up different clients in the same time, which is a service not delivered from other competitors. So eTaxi is trying to figure out some potential solutions nowadays in order to keep running the business. They started offering free ride to the medical staff of some hospitals, and they started the delivery service too. So we will go through the analysis with Mariam Quba now.
Now moving on to the analysis, as thanks to their great network, eTaxi has been benefiting from creating such new services, especially during this rough period, which is the quarantine period, as they made available their drivers to make the orders instead of you, and delivering them to you wherever you want, at any time, at any place. You only have to make your order, to choose from where you want from where you want to be delivered, and you only have to make these simple steps. You have to recover the list and the amount needed in cash, or the amount you will pay. You will execute later your request. You will execute your request in the nearest supermarket. Then you have to return to drop off your groceries. And finally, they made a range of specific pricing from for the first hour, 25 dinars. The second hour will be around 20 dinars, and they have a small range of it's like a tolerance period, which is about 15 to 30 minutes. Then they made a really great solution, which is to make their business still alive, even though in this difficult period, compared to many other businesses that they shut down due to the coronavirus conditions. However, eTaxi tried to solve this problem by providing services to the needy ones, such as they have made a really great initiative, which is they were benefiting from their competitive advantage in order to offer new services to the medical staff for free, of course. They also made their drivers flexible and available for the workers who remain working during this period. So they provide them the opportunity to get to the needed place. However, they made very strict restrictions in order to prevent their clients to be attacked by the virus. They only pick up just one client in one cab, and with he has to be provided with the medical mask, as well as the antibacterial gel, and finally they try to adjust their activity as well as their strategies to the current situation, which is not quite easy, because because this period has been changing the overall businesses everywhere.
To conclude, we deducted through the several studies that we analyzed that e-taxi is a disruptive innovation, and we would like to give to the company some recommendation. So for the company to work more efficiently. So we think that for a company with limited financial resources as e-taxi, it could be better to focus on one main activity instead of doing several and different activities at the same time. So for them to be more effective on one activity, then to have a medium level on each activities. So since the company is generating more profit from the B2B segment than the B2C, while the competitor are doing very, very well because they have more financial resources, it's better for them to continue and focus on the B2B than the B2C. So moreover, we think that they should find an opportunity to digitalize more their company by putting in place an application where the taxi drivers may have access and for them to have more resources in order to deliver a better service. And of course, we know that in Tunisia there is a lot of taxi driver strikes, and for them to be more, for the work to be more efficient, they have to avoid that kind of issues. So they should make a real partnership with the government in order to put in place like a chart or something to be out of that these strikes. And that's it. Thank you.